Hello, and thank you for joining us again for the latest episode of Discuss with Russ. I know we've been away for a few months, but we've re-envisioned how we want to bring this back, at least for now, and welcome you back again to listening and watching the program. I'm Russ Rivera, founder and president of Voice Wealth Management. This is our 20th episode, and my guest today is our first return guest, Amy Salman of the Wellness Map. For those of you tuning in for the first time, the Discuss with Russ series has focused on helping you get through the crisis and start thinking and planning for what the world might look like as we emerge. We want to help you anticipate possible responses in society's behavior so you can be most prepared to succeed. My firm, Voice Wealth Management, primarily works with entrepreneurs, young professionals, and their families to help them get the most out of their money. While I'm a chartered financial analyst and certified financial planner, many also see me as their personal CFO and financial therapist, recognizing the psychological power of money in addition to using short-term and long-term planning to help you get the most out of every dollar you earn and use. Now on to our guest, Amy Salman. Amy is the founder and CEO of the Wellness Map. She is a nutrition and wellness educator and enthusiast. The Wellness Map creates nutrition and wellness programs for individuals, families, and corporations to help others achieve their most vibrant health. Amy focuses on autoimmune disease, chronic conditions, stress management, weight loss, and healthy living and eating. You can learn more about Amy and her company at www.thewellnessmap.org. And with that, Amy, welcome back to the program again.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So the holidays are coming up and people are going to be celebrating differently. Maybe smaller gatherings, if they're gathering with anybody at all. How does that make the meals that we're accustomed to dealing with at the holidays different?
Mm-hmm. Well, the holidays are certainly going to look very different this year. I mean, they are for me. I won't be seeing my family like I usually do. I'll be just seeing one or two family members, which is very disappointing, as I'm sure many people are disappointed. But look, some people will be having family gatherings and maybe it'll be smaller and who knows, but it doesn't mean the food will look different, right? So, and
you speak for yourself. I mean, I know for me, we're probably only having a turkey breast instead of a whole large turkey this time. It's only 3 instead of 15.
There you go. But what about the sides? Will you still be enjoying the same sides that you normally have and dessert?
Probably less of them.
Less of them, but you'll still
Fewer
have
choices, right?
Right. So I mean, look, I'm not someone that ever has recommended. I don't come from a place of dieting with my clients. I come from a place of just living a healthy lifestyle, and how does that all fit into your personal preferences? And to me, holidays are the times to enjoy treats. So certainly not eating with reckless abandonment, but certainly going in and enjoying what the holiday is about. So, and food is part of what the holiday is about. So, for me, if you're a family that sets out appetizers, which my family is about that, taking a small napkin or a small plate, one of those little square napkins, it's probably about the size of the palm of your hand, maybe a little bit larger, and taking 3 or 4 of your favorite treats, setting it on the plate, and then removing yourself from the food. I think that's where many people get into trouble, right? They congregate around the food, which is what my family does. We sit around the food, and then what happens is you just keep reaching for more food. So pick up.
It's there. It's there.
It certainly is. It's there to eat, but then you keep reaching. So if you can pick up 3 or 4 of your favorite things and then move into another room or another space and engage in conversation, again, a big part of what the holiday is about as well, you won't be so tempted to reach for seconds and thirds and fourths, right? And then it comes to mealtime, right? I like to, what I call the plate tool, use this plate tool. It never fails. Take your plate, divide it in half, and 50% of your plate should go to vegetables. If there's a food that won't be there, you can always bring your own food as well. I mean, if maybe you can ask what's going to be there. I'm someone with Hashimoto's disease. I have a family that we eat gluten and dairy free. Not everybody does. So sometimes I need to bring my own food or somebody else brings the food. So you know that you're prepared. So 50% of that plate for vegetables, right?
Now, sometimes those vegetables aren't always the healthiest. I mean, I could imagine somebody serving creamed spinach or string bean, green bean casserole. I mean, these are all things I've seen at that kind of meal. So,
Right.
how do you suggest people deal with, the unhealthy vegetables?
Right. So if you know that, you can bring something along. One of my family members brings this delicious salad along. We have a healthy green bean, just a plain green bean, not the whole casserole. We have that too, but then we have a healthier side so that people who are gluten and dairy free can eat it. So if you're someone who just has set up health goals for yourself and you want to enjoy something on the healthier side, you can bring it along. And you don't have to feel uncomfortable about it. You just know that you'll be able to enjoy your meal along with everybody else. It doesn't mean that you still can't have a treat, right? It's just that 50% of your plate will be with this healthier option, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can bring along or not. You can choose not to, but it's just a suggestion I'm making. And then 25% of the other 50% of your plate would be, your turkey, or if it's not a traditional Thanksgiving meal, it would be another protein option that might be served at your meal. And then that other 25% of the plate is what I'm suggesting would go to, your favorite treat. For me, it's sweet potato pie. Maybe it's a stuffing or something else that's on the table that you absolutely love. So that's how your plate would look. And then
Okay.
for dessert, if you love whatever pie is being served, or, take a piece of the pie and enjoy the piece of the pie. It doesn't have to be half the pie, but cut yourself a slice or take a few bites and enjoy the piece of pie. It's no one meal will sabotage your health goals. It is what you do most of the time that matters. And I think that it's a really important takeaway for people.
So the third and fourth desserts are also okay. Is that what you're saying, Amy?
Like,
Right.
you
So
absolutely.
as far as that's concerned, so we've taken care of the food, but while holiday parties are clearly not going to be taking place the same way this year, alcohol obviously can be a big part of the equation, whether it's on Thanksgiving, beer, watching football, or whatever it is people might be drinking, or when you get towards later in the holidays for New Year's, what that could end up being, even if you're doing it at home. What are your thoughts on dealing with alcohol during the season?
Mhm. So, I'm not someone who also says don't drink, right? I'm Be mindful of the choices that you're making when you're choosing your alcohol. So I recommend that people choose cleaner cocktails. So I like vodka or tequila on the rocks with a fresh lime juice, or squeeze fresh lemon and lime in your cocktail, or a glass of wine. Stay away from the sugary mixers that you put into the drinks. Those I do recommend people avoid. And drinking too much, well, that will lower your inhibitions. I mean, when you drink too much, people will tend not to make the best choices for themselves, not just in other aspects of their life, but if we're talking about food, which we are right now, you'll reach for the unhealthier options. If there's a plate of fries or chips in front of you and your inhibitions are lowered, you're going to reach for more chips or fries or whatever is in front of you. That's what alcohol will tend to do. So and if you're, for ladies, I recommend one a day, for men, two a day, but, have a glass of water between your drinks also, so that you're staying hydrated.
Uh, you know, and thank you for that. I know that a lot of, I guess, particularly right now with what's going on, we've had, the holidays are stressful enough. So, but again, when you're dealing with a time where most people are accustomed to seeing people, we're obviously aware of issues people have had with being isolated over the last several months. whether it's by choice or by necessity. How do you recommend that people deal with those feelings, those dealing with, not being to be able to be as social as they might otherwise be, and the stress of the holiday season in general?
Yeah, I mean, holidays are stressful times for people to begin with, and this is just increases those stress levels tremendously. So I mean, lots of self-care and stress management techniques is what I've been using and what I recommend. These are just clearly unusual times, and we don't know what will be, and we have to do the best that we can. And some things that I recommend, first of all, getting proper sleep. Sleep is so important. Not only if we're not getting the right sleep, we tend to be more irritable and moody, and we don't make the best decisions for ourselves. It also increases a hunger hormone called ghrelin. So we will start to reach for those sugary foods, think donuts and snacks and things like that, not just sugar, but refined carbohydrates. And our blood sugar levels will start to spike and drop and spike and drop. So these false sense of energy that those types of foods give us, and it sends us on just that crazy spiral. So we really want to make sure we're clocking our Z's. The 7 to 9 hours is sort of that sweet spot. Some people may require a little bit less or a little bit more, but that's those 7 to 9 hours are generally what's recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Another tip is, the meditation and deep breathing exercises, which is really great for stress and anxiety. It's not something anybody really needs to learn or teach themselves. You can really just find a nice quiet spot and start to breathe. A breathing technique that I love also is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. You just breathe in deeply for a count of 4, hold for 7, and exhale deeply for 8. And you would repeat that sequence 4 times. Great for stress and anxiety, and also for sleep. So
I just did it once, so. So I mean, I have 3 times to go. Go ahead, Amy.
Also, getting movement into your day, physical activity, 30 minutes a day is great to relieve stress and anxiety. Whatever that looks like for you. It could be walking, it could be yoga, it could be just stretching your body if that feels good for you. I know that some people have gone back to the gym. Gyms have opened back up in many areas, and some people feel safe doing so. Maybe some people don't. Maybe they'll be closing back up soon. We don't know. But however you find those 30 minutes a day, it's great for stress relief.
So what resources can people use, right? Because forgetting whether or not things close up, the weather is getting worse. So going out might be an issue for some, just, not wanting to get up and out, or not feeling like walking outside for a half an hour is ideal. So, in terms of what resources might someone be able to look at about being able to exercise at home?
So there's so many online classes that are free. So you can go online and do anything for no cost. You can buy some bands. I love these exercise bands, which are so great for weight resistance.
I have a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, I have them too, because I've been in physical therapy for 25 years, the last 25 years of my life. So I have too many of those, but those are really inexpensive. So you can pick those up, or you can buy some weights online too, and get a great weight exercise plan going for yourself in the house. Super simple. The yoga classes online, right? So there's so much that you can do online. I mean, that's what I've been doing. There are no classes offered that I'm aware of in person. Maybe some people are doing them, I'm not really sure. But everything I do is online right now. And when the weather is nicer, I go for a long walk, because I love walking. I find it really relaxing. So there's great resources online, and you can do things really inexpensively.
Yeah, and those bands are great because they're taking no storage at all, right? They're just these tiny little things that you just have.
Throw them anywhere. But I mean, I find it better sometimes than using actual actual weights for toning and everything. And men
Very,
find
very
them
good.
particularly challenging because they're not used to using them so often.
Fair enough. So aside from you were talking the exercise, was there anything else in terms of stress management after meditation and exercise that you were thinking also might be useful?
Yeah, I think that also this is a time of year where people can take on too much, too many obligations, or too much, feel like too much responsibility. So I think inviting the word no into your vocabulary is really powerful and useful, or learning to delegate responsibility to others, or sharing responsibility is really, really useful during this time. And reaching out and connecting. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling isolated, make sure to reach out to friends and family during this time and get the support and help that you need. It's just really so important. I can't stress enough.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly know even for myself, just, it's really easy when you can't go out and you can't do anything to just sit here and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And, it's not that you're stressed out or whatever, but it's really easy to not do that. And we're all seeking kind of ways to connect.
Mhm.
Even as, things opened, we were still looking, and now maybe as the weather is making, at least in our area of the country, making it a little bit harder to do that it might become more important.
Yeah, absolutely. Connection is so important. It's the way we're built. Human connection is how we're built, and it's been taken away from us, and it's really challenging. So, making sure to stay connected with your friends and family is so important during this time.
Mhm. So we mentioned your website. How else can people reach out to you if there's another way?
Well, on my website, thewellnessmap.org, it has my phone number, it has my email. So there's a contact form also for a free consultation. So if anybody wants a free consultation, they can sign up right on that form. And any way you need to contact me is right through my website.
Great, Amy. Thank you for your time this afternoon. I want to thank
Sure, thank
Amy
you.
for joining us today on Discuss with Russ. For those of you who might want to talk to me about personal finance or any other issues, you can reach me at russell.rivera, russell, .rivera @voicewealth.com, or just call me at 646-630-0980. Thanks again for watching. You can view all of our episodes, past and present, at voicewealth.com/blog, or of course, the Voice Wealth Management YouTube channel. Our next episode, which should come out early in December, will focus on financial and tax tips to end 2020. So it's been a unique year, and some special things might be available for you this year, and to get you started to think about 2021 as well. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. And remember, it's your money and your future, and we can be your partner and your voice. Thanks again.